Well, good morning, everybody. We are here for a close-up. It's Monday. It is July 4th, 7th, something, 17th. Yes, there we go, 17th. Okay, we got it. We're all good. We are here in the annex with an unfamiliar cat. We've got a new mom cat, came over the weekend. And I'm telling you all, for the first time, she has a name. Now, she came to us with a name, and I want to talk about that in a minute, but obviously we don't keep the names. Most of the cats, all the cats come to us with names, and DJ always, these days, always renames them. It's been a long time since we've kept one. So that's the usual thing for us to do. And so she has been renamed from the name that she came to us with, just for full disclosure's sake, so that you know. Her name is Till. That's Till, like T-I-L-L, like until, I suppose, with an extra L. Don't take spelling advice from me. So Till, T-I-L-L, and I know we had a Tilly before, and I'm probably going to end up calling this one Tilly pretty much all the time. But it is different, because if you remember, that Tilly was named Tilbury, and this one is just Till. So they might both end up being Tilly, but it is a different name. Her name is Till, T-I-L-L, and that's all I got for you as far as the name goes. Now, a lot of you are meeting her for the first time right now, though. You can see already that she's a sweetheart. I'm sitting here on the beanbag trying to have my first cuppa, and she is all about snuggling and purring, and she's got this weird little hoarse meow that you are sure to hear at some point if you haven't heard it already. So she probably won't meow during this little close-up, though. Maybe she will when I get up to leave. We'll see. So you can see she's pregnant. She's pretty broad here. She is a larger mom cat than most of the ones we get. I know it's hard to tell these things on camera, which is why I always try to let you guys know. Most of our mom cats come in and without their kittens, after they've delivered and gotten back to their regular size, they're usually in the 7-pound range. We've had some that are much lighter than 7 pounds and some that are a little heavier. But I think that's right about the average. And this one, Till, I haven't weighed her yet, and she's got her kitten still in her, so it kind of throws things off. But my guess is without her kitten, she's still maybe a 10-pound cat. She's a big cat by mom cat standards. She's a little bit longer and just all around sort of a sturdier mom cat than I think what we're used to seeing. The other things that I can tell you about her, is that she had an ultrasound. So here's the story as far as we know it, is she came to us from West Virginia. I'm almost certain that's true. So she came to us from West Virginia. She came on the transport this Saturday, as I've mentioned before. There are shelters all up and down the coast that run these transports of cats and dogs, mostly coming from the shelters in the south, places like West Virginia, up to places in the north, like us here in Connecticut, where we don't have as much of a wild cat breeding season. They bring us pregnant mom cats since we don't find as many up here. And they bring other people the dogs and things that are so plentiful down there at the shelters, and they help distribute them. So she came to us this weekend on one of those transports from West Virginia. But here's something that's never happened to us before. We have had it happen before once or twice where somebody tells the people that are sending the cat to us about Kitten Academy so they can tune in and continue to watch how their cat is doing. But I say their cat, the cat they helped rescue, I suppose is what I should say, is doing. In this case, you can see she's wearing a collar, and that immediately struck me as being strange. The minute that I pulled her out of the transport, I'm like, that is weird. She's wearing a collar. Like, what is going on here? And it turns out that she also came with a bag of food and toys, a little bit of an endowment bag like the one that we give to the adopters, which I thought was really sweet. And it had a note in it. And the note said basically that they had rescued and fostered this cat, and the note wasn't entirely clear on the biggest mystery, because the note suggested that when they started fostering her, they knew she was pregnant. And the note said that a little bit about her personality, and said that she is super sweet and gets along with all the other cats and dogs, And just that she's a big old lover, and that, they talked about which food she likes and which toys she likes. And you could tell whoever was fostering her in West Virginia really cared for her a lot. Like I said, it's the first time we've ever gotten a note, and the first time we've ever seen them put a collar on. And it's the first time they've ever sent them with toys and food for us, which I thought was really, really cute. You can just tell somebody that rescued her was just cared for her a whole bunch, which leaves us with the big mystery of why did she come to us? My assumption would be like in the past, when a foster fosters a cat and then finds out that she's pregnant, a lot of them will give them up to a more experienced foster, someone who's experienced with pregnant cats, which is like we are experienced with. In this case, though, the note made it sound like the foster had rescued her and fostered her already knowing that she was pregnant, and didn't mention then why they decided to send her to us. There are, though, like Nazir Copper Company says in the chat here, anything could happen. The foster could have run into some health issues or their own personal issues that meant that they had to give up the cat they were fostering. In which case, if that is the case, I'm so glad that they got to send them to us here at Kitten Academy and know that she's going to be well cared for. Whatever the case, it's so heartwarming to see her come with that note and those toys, and just to know that she was hanging out in West Virginia with somebody who also really loved her a lot. I'm already in love with her, of course, as I would be with any mom cat that came to us, but the sweet ones are especially easy to fall in love with, and she's definitely one of the sweet ones. Now, when it comes to the other cats in the house, when I first let her out of her crate in this room on Saturday, she came out of her crate and she was starting to sniff around, and I hadn't closed the door fully, and Puddles and one of the kittens, was it Puddles? I don't know. One of the bigger kittens and one of the smaller kittens ran into the room. And she did not immediately react to them, and I got to put them out, and everything was fine. It was a real brief incident, though, and she had just arrived in a new space, so I don't know if we can draw any real conclusions from that. Of course, the note said that she was great with other cats and dogs. And then on the flip side, I have seen her growling and warning the other cats through the window here. Especially when there's a whole bunch of them at once, she will sort of growl and tell them to back off. So, I think she's going to end up being just like most mom cats that are friendly, where, until she has her babies and they're a little bit older and safer and able to get around and play on their own, she may not want too much company from the other cats. And then after that point, maybe like Nibbles or somebody, she can just live with the faculty all the time until she's adopted. That would be my hope. Of course, that's way down the line. We've got to have her kittens first. And I saw NJ Kit Kat says, how far along do you think she is? Which is the big question. I don't have a solid opinion on that yet, so I can't really tell you guys one way or the other. I haven't had enough chance to sort of, feel her and manipulate her and try to squeeze her belly and stuff. She thinks she's friendly enough with me now. We've made good enough friends that she would let me do all that stuff. I just need to sit down and take some time to think about it. But it is a little confusing because when she came to us, we were told that she had an ultrasound from the vet in West Virginia. And that vet in West Virginia said that she was definitely pregnant and they could see on the ultrasound 3, maybe 4 kittens is what we were told. 3, maybe 4. Of course, the ultrasound is very difficult to try to find all the little kittens with. So there could be 5, there could be 2. It is a little hard to tell with the ultrasound. It's the X-ray that is the real indicator. It's hard to hide from an X-ray. It's very easy to hide from an ultrasound. So I may try to schedule an X-ray for her, or she may end up having her kittens before we can get all that set. I'm not actually going to try to schedule it for this week. She seems like she's in good health. There's no reason to rush to the vet. So I'm not going to get that scheduled right away. And of course, that leads me into the big news, which is this weekend is KA-Con. And honestly, I have to spend all week doing work trying to find excuses for why the house is such a mess for when the committee comes and stops by. So that's my plan for the week, is to just spend all week coming up with excuses for why the house is so messy. I'm not going to clean it because that would be a lot of work. But I figure with a week left, I can definitely come up with some real good excuses. So that's my plan for the week. So after KACon, then if she's still pregnant and she doesn't seem like she's delivering imminently, maybe I would try to get her in for an appointment. We're going to be at the vet a lot the next week anyway, so we could just bring her along for one of those if it comes to that. Now, for all I know, she could have her kittens tonight. She does seem very pregnant, and if it's true that she only has 3 kittens, if she only has 3 kittens, then she may be close to delivering. She's big enough to be almost fully term with 3 kittens. Of course, if it's 5 or 7, she's got some time to go, probably. She's not quite big enough for that. So that's all I can go on so far, is how big I think she is versus how many kittens I think she has. She hasn't shown me any signs that she's going to deliver imminently. She's not, say, producing milk yet. And I haven't noticed anything else that seems like a big tip-off. So we'll all just keep an eye on it together and see when she delivers. Like I said, it could be anything. It could be tonight, and it could be, a whole month from now, since they were seen on the ultrasound. And you can see them on the ultrasound way before you can see them on the X-ray, which the X-ray is like maybe 2-3 weeks. The ultrasound is longer than that, and I couldn't tell you exactly how long, but so yeah. So that's what we know so far. Her name is Till. Till is her name, Till. That's why I wanted to mention about the note, and to her adopter, if her former foster, if whoever you are that had fostered this wonderful cat and sent that great note, if you are watching, then I want to apologize first off for renaming her. We always do that. It's just the way it is. And then secondly, say, if you wanted to reach out to us and say, hey, I'm the one that was fostering that cat. I'm so glad to see her there. Or otherwise, that's fine. I'll take your opinion, whatever it is. Please do. The email address is headmaster@kitten.academy. And it's just that, headmaster@kitten.academy. There's no .com or anything on the end. That's the whole thing. And if you write to that, you'll get Lisa, who will then, she sort of screens all the emails and lets me know when something comes in that I need to deal with. So I would like to hear from you if you are that foster, because I just thought that note was so sweet. So so her name is Till. She came to us from West Virginia. There was a previous foster that sent a note and gave her that collar and was just really sweet about everything. And we don't know exactly when she's going to deliver. We were told by ultrasound 3 or 4 kittens. And we're just all on kitten watch. Did you hear that? That's the horse meow I'm talking about. You want to do it again? Really? What are you saying to me? Really? I thought they sent me a cat, but you seem a little hoarse. I didn't tell that right, did I? I got to work on my delivery. Oh well, we used it. Too late now. Okie dokie. So, we got some time still. Let's go see if we can see all the other kittens. I'm just going to tell you in advance, if we run into a technical problem and the stream ends suddenly, I'm just going to let it end. I've really got to get to work on those excuses. Let me just say in advance, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for meeting Till, and I hope we get to see a lot more of her until those kittens are delivered and we get to enjoy her entire family. So there you go. All right, let's go see everybody else then. Like I said, if there is a technical issue, if I disappear suddenly, it was nice talking to you guys. No. All the older kittens still want to run into this room because, until 2 days ago, it was their room. This was their home base, so they still think they belong in there, and I've got to be real careful going in and out for that reason. But you can see this is Raindrop right here. She's real excited to see us. And her mom, Puddles, probably also excited to see us. Puddles is still very hissy at the faculty, and everybody's kind of learned to get along with her now. But the way that they've learned it is mostly by just avoiding her. She hasn't really made friends with any of them yet, but she has taught them all that it's best just to keep your distance, which they do. So especially the ones that have the biggest problem with her, I think, are the other kittens, by which I mean Teaspoon, who she doesn't like very much. She treats him like a cat, where she doesn't want him around, and Serenity. who you can count as a mom cat or a kitten because she definitely fills both roles here, who also has just learned to keep her distance. So Serenity and Teaspoon are the biggest problems. The faculty never even tries to get near her. So they don't run into trouble just because they know to stay away 100% of the time. Teaspoon and Serenity, I think, have mostly got the lesson as well. But there's still a lot of times when you'll sort of see them get too close. So it's, all in all, I don't like seeing it when she's, angry, especially at Teaspoon. You feel so bad for the little guy. So it's not fun to see, but I do like to remind myself it's a good experience for him to learn not everybody's friendly and to learn those skills in sort of learning how to respect another cat's boundaries, even when they aren't the boundaries that you would like them to be, right? So I think it's a good lesson for them, but I still, when I see her attacking or getting angry at them too much, I will put her back in her room. So once in a while, you're going to see her and all of her kittens closed up in this room, which is their new room full of fun stuff. The one we were just petting here, as I was talking, that's Sprout. Sprout still having a little bit of poop and pee issues. I think she's healthy, but I think that she's still got a little bit of the litter box avoidance issue that comes when they can have, if they have like a GI or UTI or something. Sometimes they can sort of associate that with the litter box and it'll put them off using the litter box for a short while. My guess is that's all that's going on. All that's going on with her, and she's going to figure it out real quick to go back to the litter box. Until then, I've been cleaning up a few extra messes around the academy. But like I said, I know she's going to get it sorted out. I'm not too worried about it. Here we have Brawley wrestling with Wellingtons. There's Brawley and Wellingtons. I have to clean in here. Every time I come in here, this litter box smells just off. Like, I don't know. It smells like it's got something in it that's not quite picked up. Maybe like somebody peed on the side of it or something. I'm sorry to tell you all that. I'm experiencing it a lot because I'm sitting right here next to the litter box and it's got that smell. It's just bothering me, even though I've already emptied it like twice this morning. And I came over here with the enzyme cleaner, and I kind of washed the floor just a tiny bit. I got to do the whole thing though, otherwise I can tell it's not going anywhere. Or I suppose I could go with my new. See, she just went after Teaspoon, and he's under that toy and can't really get away. And that's not a good situation. Okay. Oh, we got this Ferrari in mailbag for the kittens. Isn't that adorable? They look real good in it too. That is Drizzle, who we hadn't seen yet. She's joined the fray. Wellingtons and Brawley. Wellingtons had a day over the weekend when he was very limpy, and my contention was that it was just because of his vaccines, and in fact it only lasted one day. He seems like he's fine now, so my guess is it was in fact just the vaccine made him a little sore. You can see he's playing and not limping at all now. I think you can see that anyway. Here's little Teaspoon, poor little guy, just got attacked for nothing. Of course, she's not seriously going after him, but he doesn't like it. Well, if she's going to stay on the warpath, like I said, I'll just close her in her room for the morning. She's still also, we've got not the second annex, I guess it's called the spare room upstairs. Brooke's room sometimes, or Myth's room. That's the room I also will put her in sometimes, Puddles, and she can just stay in there as long as she needs, and it doesn't get in anybody's way. So I might do that too. So Teaspoon, his health report, he's doing pretty well. We still have to schedule all of his stuff. I've tried making the call a few times, but it's real hard to get through to them at a time when, but them being the vet that is an emergency vet, using that because we need a critical list. It's a little hard to get them at a time when they're not, dealing with emergencies. So I got to keep trying. I was on hold for like a half an hour the other day and just gave up. Okay. And I talked to his cardiologist the other day too. I don't know if I mentioned that. Just to sort of, touch base and to try to get things scheduled and to see if he had any recommendations for how and when to do the neuter. Which he did not really. just some, general guidance, which I think I already knew. This, by the way, is Wellington's sister, Squall, and those two came from a different litter, but they've been well integrated with this class. This is the pink collar Sprout again. Here's the boy from the older class. This is Bud. I don't think we've seen him yet. He's the long-haired in the group. He does have a couple white spots, by the way. I don't know if you saw or could. There's one there, and there's one under his chin that's hard to see, especially when he's trying to bite me. He's definitely still a finger biter. We're working on it, and I think we're making progress, but he's still, he's so dedicated to play. There's Brawley. There's Bud again. Oh, okay. Teaspoon's favorite toy still the ball track and the ball tower. Still his favorite. He does play with other things, but he always goes back to these. It's so cute. All right, Wellingtons, Drizzle. I think we've seen everybody except Serenity, haven't we? There's Raindrop again. Raindrop is for sure the one that is the most sort of socially motivated of the group. I think socially motivated not just for people, because she's also the one that sort of is the first outreach to other cats and kittens, the one that is sort of Serenity's best friend, although Serenity will come in and just groom all of the kittens in the bedroom. She just grooms them all, treats them like she's their mom, and now she even lets them comfort nurse on her. There's Maggie out there, by the way. Serenity even lets these kittens, and especially Teaspoon, comfort nurse on her, which is so sweet. And Teaspoon does still like to comfort nurse on, Serenity, I guess, is his only real option these days, but that doesn't stop him from trying other kittens and cats whenever he gets the chance, and usually upsetting them a little bit when he does try to nurse on them. But Serenity doesn't get upset. I've also seen him nurse on Wellingtons, if you can believe that. Wellingtons doesn't get upset either and puts up with it pretty well, even though he's the tiny little boy. It's cute. It's cute that everybody takes care of Teaspoon, and that Squall and Wellingtons are so well integrated into the class of older kittens. So I was talking about Serenity, but we still didn't see her. I'm not sure where she's at right now. Here's Eddie. Hey, bud, look up here so we can see how green your eyes are. No? Okay, well, I guess we'll look at you then. Let's try to hide all that garbage in the background, though. We've got a pile of boxes going out to the recycling right there. Okay, well, good enough. Nope, nobody in the sunroom. I know, you're following me around. You want attention. So I mentioned about Puddles and the fact that she gets hissy with other cats, and you saw her get hissy at Teaspoon. It's real easy to sort of write her off as she's an angry cat. She is not an angry cat, though. She is the sweetest, loving lover. She loves to rub on my ankles and follow me around and purr. And she still constantly does that thing that you all know from the day she delivered her kittens, where she just sits on my chest and licks my nose and rubs her head on my face. And she'll just do that for hours. Just sit on my chest and just lick my nose and rub on me and purr and purr and purr and be petted. Here's Serenity, by the way. So Puddles is super, super sweet, even though I know you don't get to see that part too often. She's just a big old lover. Now, Serenity here, also sweetie, likes to snuggle. She's a little more independent, though. She doesn't come in for the snuggles. She comes in for the snuggles every day, don't get me wrong. But Puddles is a little more snuggle motivated, where Serenity is a little more play motivated, actually. And I'll tell you the funniest thing. Serenity, I did mention, has been nursing Teaspoon, and so she takes good care of her. And I mentioned that she grooms all of the kittens just like they were her own kittens, just like she's their mom. She takes care of all of them. And it's the sweetest thing. She's a total sweetheart. But the thing that really surprised me was yesterday she strolled into the bedroom meowing her head off with a toy in her mouth, making the noises that a mom cat makes to call all of her kittens to come either, play with her or participate in this bounty that she has brought them. you know the sounds that a mom cat makes when she brings a toy and she wants all of her kittens to come, or when she finds some really good food. You don't see that as often on our stream, but she strolls in holding it in her mouth, making those noises, the come see what I've got noises. So the fact that Serenity did that really says to me that she thinks of herself as a mom to these kittens, because she wanted them all to come and see the thing that she'd caught for them. So really, really sweet that way. I thought that was super heartwarming. All right, so that's about that. I've really got to sit down and get to brainstorming, open a big spreadsheet, and start compiling all the reasons that the house is so messy. And I think the first thing on that list would be I spent my time writing this list instead of cleaning the house. That's a good place to start, isn't it? Yeah, all right. Let me write that down. I'm going to get to it. Thanks all of you for joining me today. Monday, the Monday before KACon. It's going to be epic. And I will see all of you next time. I hope we get a chance to do another close-up this week, but, you know, in light of all my list writing, no promises. And, oh man, I got to do something about this litter box. All right. Well, let me get to it. Thanks again, everybody. And we will see all of you next time. Oh, man, it looks like we got a casualty. Camera down in here. Oh man, did I do that? The kittens do that fairly often too. I don't know why. When I built these new bases for the cameras, I went real minimalist. The last ones I built real wide so it couldn't be tipped over. And this one time I'm like, they never tip it over, which was dumb, because obviously the reason they never tipped it over is the old design couldn't be tipped over. And this one I built real skinny so it looks all sleek. And yeah, that just not a good choice, really. Oh well, bygones. All right, everybody. Well, okay, one last time with the thank you so muches, and see you next time. And as usual, I don't need to give you a call to action. They say to end videos with a call to action. You guys got enough to do. None of that garbage. But if you want to keep watching the kittens, you already know how to do that anyway. You can always tune into the regular live stream, and they're on there 24/7. You're at least as close as this shot right here, so you just don't have me talking to you all the time. Sometimes, though. Boy, there's a lot going on here. Oh, hey, one last thing I should just mention before I go is I did a photo shoot with everybody over the weekend. I did. It wasn't anything major. I didn't get out costumes or even change the backdrop from the purple one. But I did get photos of everybody, and I published a few of those on the Discord. But eventually, they're all going to get to the blog. So I guess keep an eye out, maybe? Oh, no calls to action. You got enough to do. Don't keep an eye out. I'll let you know when it's up there anyway. Okay, really going this time. I really am. I'm going now. I promise. For real. For realsies. Goodbye. Bye, everybody. What's another ball track?